I wanted to come on today to talk about something that crossed my mind a little bit, and it's the future. Specifically with the future generations. If you've seen the title of this video, you already know what this is going to be about. A little bit of a sensitive topic for me. I keep thinking about the future generations, and I'm wondering what direction our world is essentially going. Had to move the camera a little bit, sorry. And I've just been thinking, with everything around surrounding technology, it's not looking great for future generations, I'd say. Mostly because neglect is one of the biggest things I've been seeing. Child neglect, which is basically like the parents don't care for their kids at all, And probably one of the things I've mostly seen is definitely just a kid crying, wah, 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 and the parents will just give them one of these to shut them up, in other words. I disagree with those methods. I do not believe that that is something that they should be doing. Because in a lot of ways, they can become entitled, spoiled, and in some ways more aggressive. So, and this is all my opinions. Don't take my words as gospel or facts. Okay? This is just my opinions. I'm just spilling out my opinions here. It's a podcast. What else am I supposed to do? But basically, it just makes me think. Because there's a stereotype on YouTube where it's the brain rot children, the iPad kids. And I'm just like, you guys keep calling them that. It's just gonna make it worse. If you actually want to help them, do something about it. Don't be like, we hate iPad kids. Okay, that's great. Go do something about it if you hate it. It's the future generations. The people that'll be running the world in this future. And because technology has been introduced to them so fast, it's caused them to become more and more immature, I'd say. You got people out there who are... They just think they're smarter than everyone. That's one thing. Like, I've seen countless amount of times, it's like... It's almost like they heard the... because I told you so thing from their parents. It's like, go do this. And it's like, why? Because I told you so. And then it's like, why can you do it but I can't? It's like, because I'm the adult. And so, kids will be like, oh, this is freedom now. I'm 18. I'm an adult. If that's the way you think, you're a lot more immature than you think. Because real adulting is a lot harder than it seems. And that's where I come with like the future generations, because best way I can put this is monkey see, monkey do, basically. What we learn as kids is basically we follow the example of our parents. And as we're learning from our parents, we take in as much information as we can, and in some ways we mimic them. I mean, I've seen countless, I like watching those police body cam footages of the Karens, because it's so funny to see how stupid a lot of these people are. They think that they're like on top of the world, that they don't need to listen to anyone. That is basically the most immature. Those are the most immature out of the immature people. And some of them are close to, I'm guessing here, I'm going to say they're probably close to their 50s and they're still doing this crap. So, yeah. It makes me worry a lot for the future, because monkey see, monkey do, and then the people who feel like that being a kid is a prison, you should be a bit more grateful that your parents are putting up with your BS, in other words. Because there are a lot of people out there that'll do that. And, we just got to thank our parents a bit more. The generation that raised us. I'm thankful to my parents, obviously. They helped me through a lot of stuff. And for the future, the Gen Alphas or whatever generation we're on now, I'm just worried about it. I know, like, way back when I did an earlier podcast and I was like, I feel like all hope is lost. Looking back on that, I'm like, what was I thinking? I'm just like, why did I say that? That's what happens when you do this sort of stuff. You look back on this. I'm probably going to look back on this in the future and be like, what was I thinking? Because I'm not a parent yet. So I don't know what it's like. Granted, you can follow as many examples as you can, But yeah, it just makes you wonder. It really makes you wonder. My big question is, how did they get so immature in the first place? Obviously, the parenting is one thing, but personality is basically hardwired into you, so it makes it a bit more difficult. So when I hear people say, like, once they get out of school, one of the biggest things I heard right before college was that these kids felt like they could do whatever they wanted because they were 18, they were free from school, weren't shackled, in other words. And I'm like, if you do that, you're gonna ruin your life. It's just gonna ruin your life. And I've had some friends already that I've seen their picture in the newspaper, and I'm just sad. I'm sad about it. I'm really sad about it. Because, those were my friends in high school. And I'm just like, how did these people become like this? It's unbelievable that that's even happened. It's hard to see, for one. But, you learn from other people's mistakes. So, yeah, the generations and the generations to come, we need to try to protect them, preserve them, basically. Bring them into the world slowly. I feel like that's the best way to save the future generations, because I don't think the people from my generation will be able to parent very well. And, I rarely see people talk about marriage anymore. It's a really rare thing to see. And from my perspective, it's a rare thing to see. I don't see it very often. But that depends on, where you're looking. And from where I've been looking, it's not common. It's not really that common. People don't talk about it like that anymore. Oh yeah, if you feel like that school is a prison, then you're not learning anything, basically. You're not grateful that you're actually getting an education. And that's the sad thing. Because then a lot of those people go out and say, I'm an adult, I know better, I'm better. It's just like, yeah, you're an adult. Nobody has to support you anymore. No one has to pick you up anytime you fall down. No one's there to help you when you get your picture in the newspaper. Granted, there might be still some people. I'll rephrase that. No, basically with the events that lead up to that. So yeah, with the future generations, gotta protect them, and basically learn from past mistakes. There's a saying out there. A smart person learns from his own mistakes, and a wise person learns from other people's mistakes. Try to be a wise person. Learn from other people's mistakes. Granted, everybody will do it differently. But try to learn from other people's mistakes. This was a heavy one. Wow. Well, that's it for now. And we'll actually start getting into more regular episodes now. I am going to try to get back onto our normal posting schedule. I know I've been saying that for a bit, and we're still trying to get adjusted. I've had a lot happen, so. Yep. Anyways, that's it. There's 11 minutes right now, so see you guys later.